folks? Welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I don't know what we're getting into here. I have no idea, but Jeff Cather made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. So Jeff, shout out to you. Thank you for the gift on this request. Mary Heather Hickman's Fancy Mama's version. And the Shoal City Showdown. I don't know if that was the channel or the continuation of the title of the song. I guess we'll figure that out as we get into it. It's a reaction. I don't know the song clearly. And Jeff said, "Hi, Don. This will be a fun one. It is the story of Fancy," which was Reba's song, Fancy, "as looking through the eyes of her mama. Hope you all enjoy it. As you know, I am always on the lookout for new talent. Yes, this much I know." And I just remembered, you may have noticed I just changed hats. I just remembered that Mary Heather Hickman is a Razorback fan. And I like the Hogs because their fans are so kind. My two surrogate daughters went to U of A. A good buddy of mine, Mike, lives down in Little Rock. He's a big-time Razorback fan and all that stuff. So, in fact, Mary Heather gave me a Woo Pig Suey in the comments a couple years ago because I did react to her before. I reacted to her song Baptist Parking Lot, and I liked it a lot. So here we go with Mary Heather Hickman's Fancy Mama's version. Now, Fancy, if you recall the story, the song by Reba is the story of a very broke family. It was a mother who had a daughter who had turned 17 or 18, and there was a baby in the family too. The mother got sick. The father left at some point. I don't remember if they had divorced, but in any case, he left. They didn't have money. The mom didn't have money because she was sick. She couldn't work. And so they couldn't eat, pay the rent or anything. But the little bit of money that the mother had left, she bought a fancy dress for her daughter so that she could, woo or wow, whatever the right word is, a gentleman or gentlemen. And then she wouldn't have to be so poor, and then they could move to a nicer place and stuff like this. So it's kind of like this story where the mother didn't want to do it, but she didn't see what her other options were. So she bought her daughter a dress. It was like a revealing dress and all that kind of stuff. And but then, if I recall the story of that song, the mother died. I think the mother died. And then so the girl with the dress went on to have an opulent lifestyle. Let's put it that way. So here we go. Oh, I got a video. Cool.
I've tried to forgive, but it all comes back. That summer you turned 18. Life was tough and times were hard in the outskirts of New Orleans. I didn't have money for food or rent. I didn't know what else to do. So I scraped up every penny I could to buy a dancing dress for you.
Yeah.
I washed and combed and curled your hair, painted up your face just right. When I stepped back to take a look at you, I couldn't believe my eyes. That red dress, well, it sure did fit you good. Standing back from the looking glass, there stood a woman where my little girl once stood. I said, "Here's your one chance, Fancy, don't let me down." I said, "Here's your one chance, Fancy, don't let me down."
Wait a minute. Fancy was like the nickname for the girl? That I didn't know. All right. Unless Mary Heather is just sort of, I don't know, taking artistic license on that. I guess I missed it. That was the nickname of her daughter.
I dabbed a little bit of perfume on your neck and I kissed your cheek. And I felt the tears start to fall as I gave my desperate plea. I looked around at the life I'd made and knew you were my best bet. I said, "Your paws runned off and I'm real sick and the baby's gonna starve to death." I handed you my heart-shaped locket that said, "To thine own self be true." The same words I'd read so many times to help myself get through. I felt a pain shoot through my heart when you asked, Mama, what do I do? I said, just be nice to the gentleman fancy, they'll be nice to you. I said, here's your one chance fancy, don't let me down. I said, here's your one chance fancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive me for what I do, but if you want out, well, it's up to you. Now don't let me down now, your mama's gonna move you uptown.
Yeah, it's a storyline.
Well, that was the last time I saw your face when you walked out that front door. I couldn't give you all you deserve, but I knew you were meant for more. I didn't want you to spend your life with your head hung down in shame. You know they might have called us just plain white trash, but fancy was your name. I said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. I said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
The mother felt bad about
Lord,
it, though.
forgive me for what I do, but
Yeah.
if you want out, well, it's up to you. Now don't let me down now, your mama's gonna move you uptown. Now don't let me down now, your mama's gonna move you uptown.
Well, Mama never did. But that dress was the starting point of it actually happening, because in the original storyline, that is what happened. She did make it work. She did make it uptown. She did get some wealthy boys, or a wealthy boy man, and it worked. But I mean, that is the way it works. Whether we want to moralize and say it shouldn't be that way, beauty does get you far in this world. That gets you further. It doesn't mean it gets you happier, but it can get you things. Let's put it that way. And so the storyline wasn't that different. I mean, this was from Mama's perspective, clearly. I was hoping there would be more, like, depth, if you will, into, like, peering more into what the mother was really feeling. This was sort of surface. And I mean, the song was that in a way, where it was like, please forgive me for what I'm about to do, but this will get you some money. And so it was, the song itself was designed to sort of be a simple but moving account of a mother's really trauma, in a sense, because to have to do that, to be in that circumstance, to where you're like, this is the only thing I got. I got a little bit of money and I'm going to lay it all down on, I'm going to pull that lever in the slot machine and hope it pays off. Now, as I recall, the mother died. And the baby was taken away. The government, I think Child Protective Services, or DIFUS, whatever you call them, in where was the original storyline told? Was that Louisiana or somewhere in the South, as I recall? But they took the baby away, but Fancy did make it. And I'd forgotten that Fancy was her name. For some reason in my mind, I had it being the fancy dress, which kind of makes sense. She did buy her like a fancy dress, and it was revealing, and it worked. So the mother's plan did work. She just didn't get to experience it because she passed away. But Fancy herself did make it work. So there you go. She didn't let her mother down. And look, an argument could be made. I mean, that's why I don't judge folks much. I don't like mean-spirited, but I am pretty non-judgmental, because I don't know what caused people to get to the decisions that they're making. And until you understand the backstory of someone's life, you don't have a basis for looking down on them. Generally speaking, my experience in life, regardless of what country someone's from, what nationality, what race, what all this, is that we're all pretty much the same. We want to be happy. We don't want to be in pain. It's the philosophers, for Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, all the way back to the Greek philosophers have contemplated and written about what makes us human, what makes a good life, what makes something virtuous. And it comes back to very frequently what drives us to be happy and what drives us to avoid pain. And then when you get into the sort of micro elements that cause people to pursue certain paths in life, you can understand it. You may disagree with it, you may abhor it, but at least you can understand it. And this is a tough one, but I mean, you hear this story, you could just picture the home where they lived and the challenges of this mother being sick with a baby that would die if it wasn't provided for, and the only thing left, the final roll of the dice, was to get her daughter on her way. She was old enough. She was 18, 17, 18, but I mean, she was old enough at that time to have a shot. She wasn't going to go to college. That wasn't in the budget, so to speak. So the way it worked was this, and it did work. So, Jeff, yeah, you kind of put that one to me. I was expecting almost a comical, a funny, a humorous perspective on this, because you said this was going to be a fun one, but I think what you meant was you're going to be amused at me reacting to this one. And hopefully I didn't let you down, because it was very different than what I was expecting. Mary Heather reminded me in this song a bit at times of Gretchen Wilson, the way she was talking through it. She reminded me a little bit of Miranda for the same reason. A little bit, oddly, of Carrie Underwood, not sort of vocally in this capacity, but it's sort of like the very feminine assertiveness, like Carrie's song Before He Cheats, when Carrie's talking her way through the beginning of that one. And there were some others in there. It was interesting the way the song was presented and the way Mary Heather presented it. So and Mary Heather's very pretty girl. I mean, I'm 63, so when I say girl, I'm not saying that condescendingly. She's a woman, clearly, but a very beautiful, beautiful woman. I think she moved to Texas, as I recall, or grew up in Texas or something, but went to U of A and all that sort of stuff. So I can only imagine Thanksgiving around her house with Longhorn Razorback conversations. But all right, I'm going to rate this. And it's ballsy to do a song like this. It really is, because you might get some blowback for it. When you take an iconic song and add your little twist to it. But somehow she got away with it. So kudos to Mary Heather on this one, Jeff. Maybe you know Mary Heather as well, because I know you know a lot of folks since you're in radio. But I'm coming in with a Jeff Cather special on this one, and it's an 8.9. It was intriguing. That plays into how I feel about a song and the number that blasts into my head as I try to unpack why a number popped into my head. But it was ballsy, and I was intrigued. Where are you going to go next? Where are you going to go next? Where are you going to go next? And I think you could even go further with this one if you delve more into the deeper psychological, the thoughts that the mom would have about doing what she did. We got the reasons for it. They were poor, the baby, the father ran off, and this was her one shot. She only had a little bit of money left, but I think you could go even further with this. And maybe that's going to happen. Who knows? So anyway, woo pig suey, Mary Heather, and everybody else. I hope you enjoyed that. Jeff, thanks for the gift and the request again, my friend. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep wearing those fancy dresses and behave yourself. Have a great day and keep rocking the country.
Life was tough and times were hard in the outskirts of New